رسول الهدى جاءنا مرشدا يفيض عطاء كفيض الندى رسول الهدى جاءنا مرشدا يفيض عطاء كفيض الندى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. وأسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يرزقنا حسن النية وحسن الختام. Obligations of Wudu. Al-Imam Ibn Ashir al-Maliki rahimahullahu ta'ala rahmatan wasi'ah said, فرائض الوضوء سبعة وهي دلك وفور نية في بدئه ولينوي رفع حدث أو مفترض أو استباحة لممنوع عرض وغسل وجه غسله اليدين ومسح رأس غسله الرجلين والفرض عم مجمع الأذنين والمرفقين عم والكعبين وخلل أصابع اليدين وشعر وجه إذا من تحته الجلد ظهر. The obligations of wudu are 7 in number. They involve rubbing the water over the skin, performing the various acts of wudu, one after the other without interruption, with intention at the beginning. One then intends to remove impurity, perform the obligation, or make permissible what was forbidden. Then one washes one's face, hands, and forearms, wipes one's head, and washes one's feet. It is obligatory to cover up to the junction with the face of one's ears when washing, and up to and including the elbows and ankles. Furthermore, to intertwine the digits of the hand and the hair of the face if the skin is visible underneath it. When the author, may Allah have mercy upon him, finished talking about the water used for purification, he clarified the purification rules and started with the minor because of its frequent repetition. Therefore, he mentioned that the obligations of wudu are 7. Number 1, rubbing. Imam Khalil said in At-Takrur, there are 3 sayings regarding rubbing. The prevalent opinion is the obligation. The second is the saying of Ibn Abd al-Hakam, the negation of its obligation. The third is that it is obligatory, not in itself, rather for ensuring the reach of the water. Therefore, it is valid if the water reaching between the digits is ensured by settling for a lengthy period. In other words, if one immerses their hand and forearm in water, kept it there with fingers spread out for an extended period of time, then took it out, one would be certain that the water reached all the parts that needed to be washed. However, if this were done without spreading the fingers, one would not be certain the water reached all areas. The difference between the first and third is that even if pouring was sufficient, one still must rub. Vigorous rubbing, massaging, or applying a lot of pressure is not what is meant here. Rather, what is meant is to use the hand to make the water reach what needs to be washed. It is not valid to delegate the rubbing to someone else unless one is unable. However, delegating the pouring of water is not harmful. According to the prevalent opinion, one can rub the organ being washed while pouring water or after it. 2. Continuity or immediacy. Ibn Bashir says continuity is to perform wudu, all of it, in one session without a separation. Ibn al-Hajib said the simple separation is pardoned. He means even if done intentionally. The prevalent opinion is that it is only obligatory with remembrance and ability. Therefore, if one segmented his wudu intentionally and voluntarily, he starts his wudu from the beginning with a new intention. If he segmented it forgetfully, it is based on what he did with an intention, regardless of whether the separation was long or short. If one made wudu, forgot to wipe his head, then washed his feet, and he did not remember until 10 hours lapsed that he did not wipe his head, in such a case, it is enough to wipe the head, and one is not required to start from the beginning. However, it is a condition that one wipes his head with a valid intention, because forgetting to wipe the head dictates that the intention to make wudu was no longer present. Therefore, one must renew their intention. While it is not a condition, it is recommended for one to do whatever comes after the forgotten part was fulfilled. If the separation was short, if the separation was long, then it is not obligatory nor recommended. The prevalent opinion is that the separation is considered long by the drying of the moderate organs in moderate weather or climate within a moderate time. According to the Shafi'iyya, continuity is not a condition. For example, one started making wudu, they washed their face, hands, and wiped their head. However, before they could wash their feet, the water spilled, so they went to fetch more water from a well. If the gap was short, then they continue from where they left off. Otherwise, they start from the beginning. Likewise, if the time it took to fetch the water was short, one would not need a new intention because their fetching of the water was done with the intention to continue performing wudu, remaining in their heart. The long separation requires a new intention because it is a new wudu and not a continuation of the previous wudu. Number 3, the intention. There are 3 aspects that follow the talk of the author Ibn Ashir, may Allah have mercy upon him. Number 1, it is among the obligations of wudu, due to the saying of Allah, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They have not been ordered except to worship Allah sincerely. And the saying of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. The good deeds are judged in accordance with the intention. It was narrated from Imam Malik that it, meaning the intention, is not obligatory, as it is the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa radiyallahu anhu wa ardah. The second aspect of the intention is its place is at the beginning of wudu, as the author indicated by his saying, bada'ihi. The prevalent opinion is that its place is upon washing the face, since it is the first physical obligation. It was said that it is upon the first washing of the hands. Imam Khalil said that what is apparent is the second saying. Some scholars merge the 2 sayings. One starts with the intention upon the first action and maintains it until the first obligation. If the intention was advanced a little bit, this does not affect negatively. If one was sitting, then got up to make wudu, this is a valid intention as long as there was no lengthy separation and there was nothing in their heart except the intention to make wudu. For example, one entered the masjid, took off their shoes, then went to the wudu station, and there was nothing in their heart except the intention to make wudu. This is valid according to the Malikiyy. Likewise, if the person wanted to pray and there was nothing in their heart except the intention to pray dhuhr, this is a valid intention, even if it was advanced a little bit. The third aspect is what is intended. The author indicated that by his saying, وَلْيَنْوِي رَفْعَ حَدَثٍ. So he mentioned 3 things. either lifting the ritual impurity from the organs, and the impurity is a state of prevention the organs are in, as mentioned previously. Another option is to perform wudu, which is an obligation upon him. Therefore, he excludes the recommended wudu of renewal, as well as wudu to attend a session of knowledge. If he broke his wudu, then forgot, then he made wudu with the intention of renewal, then later remembered that he had broken his wudu, then that wudu would not be sufficient to perform an obligation, because when he made wudu, he did so with the intention of performing an optional deed. Therefore, he excludes the recommended wudu of renewal and includes the wudu for the optional prayer, because it is required for them just as it is required for the obligatory. Likewise, the wudu before entering the prayer time, because it is obligatory overall, even if it is not obligatory upon him at that time specifically. However, if one made wudu to recite the Quran, then he does not pray with that wudu. As for making permissible what was prohibited for him, such as the prayer, tawaf, touching the mushaf, and the like, then whichever of them he intends is sufficient. The fourth obligation of wudu is washing the face. The ears are not included because they are a part of the head, as was narrated in the hadith, al-udhunani min al-ra's, which means the two ears are a part of the head. Its boundary, that is the face, vertically, is from the normal hairline to the end of the chin. Included is the hair that grows on the temples, and excluded is the area above the temples, the parietal ridge, where hair loss occurs. Depth-wise, the border of the face is from ear to ear. It is an obligation to rub the water thoroughly between the hair, even the eyelashes, other than the inner part of the thick beard and sideburns. The beard is thin if the color of the skin underneath can be determined. The fifth obligation is washing the hands and forearms. Included in that is whatever grows on the hands and forearms, such as hair, moles, extra fingers, and the like. Along with washing the elbows, according to the prevalent opinion. It was said that it is not obligatory to wash the elbows. They said that ila does not include the target, al-ghaya. According to the prevalent saying, it is an obligation to intertwine the fingers. That is indicated by the saying of the author, خَلِّلْ أَصَابِعَ الْيَدَيْنِ, and the basis of the command is making obligatory. And if it were not obligatory, then he would not have specified it. It was said that it is recommended. The sixth obligation is wiping the head. It is an obligation to wipe all of the head of men and women. They wipe over the skin or hair of the head, but they do not wipe over henna, not color only, but there's a layer of henna on the hair, or anything that is a barrier between wiping and the hair. The head is from the front, where the hair normally grows, to the back of the skull, the occipital bone. Some said to the nape of the neck. If one wipes over a part of the head, it is not valid according to what has been documented. Ibn Maslama said it is valid to wipe 2/3 of the head. Ibn al-Faraj said 1/3. These are strong sayings within the madhab. Ashhab said it is valid to wipe the forelock. It was also said that it is sufficient to wipe one hair, similar to al-Shafi'i. However, this is a weak opinion within the madhab. The 7th obligation is washing the feet, along with washing the ankles, according to the prevalent saying. It was said that it is not obligatory to wash the ankles. The disagreement on that is like the disagreement on washing the elbows. According to the prevalent saying, it is recommended to intertwine the fingers with the digits of the feet, meaning the toes. It was also said that it is an obligation. It is valid to wipe over the footgear by the consensus of the Ummah, the khuf. Among the conditions of the Malikiyy is that the footgear must be made of leather or what is similar to it, even if it is synthetic. Therefore, it is not sufficient to wipe over socks, which are not durable to walk in. One is allowed to wipe over the footgear without a time limit, contrary to al-Shafi'i, as long as they are not taken off or the occurrence of what necessitates ghusl. The facility applies to men and women alike, whether residing or traveling. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam wa ahkam.
رسول الهدى جاءنا مرشدا